Okay, so here's just a quick part two of the American Revolution, and this is just going to be the lecture for today. Tomorrow we'll be talking about the Declaration of Independence. So, the Revolutionary War is well under its way in January of 1776. The events of 1775 fresh on their minds, colonists began reaching the conclusion that the time has come to secede from the empire and declare independence. Over the past 10 years, these colonists had argued that they deserved the same rights as Englishmen enjoyed in Great Britain, only to find themselves relegated to being basically intolerable subservient status in the empire. Okay, the groundswell of support for their cause of independence in 1776 also owed much to the appearance of an anonymous pamphlet, which is first published in January of 1776, and it is entitled Common Sense. Okay, it's written by Thomas Paine. He had immigrated from England to Philadelphia in 74. He's an author. It is arguably the most radical pamphlet of the Revolutionary era, and it made a powerful argument for independence. Until it appeared, most patriots had directed their grievances and problems at Parliament. Paine, however, he directly attacked the king. His fiery pamphlet changed the course of history. It convinced American rebels that independence was inevitable. That only by declaring independence, he predicted, could the colonists gain the crucial support of France and Spain. Okay? That by stepping away from Great Britain and declaring ourselves independent, France and Spain would put their support behind us. He felt that the rest of the world would welcome and embrace an independent America. All right? People love this. Within 3 months, there are more than 150,000 copies of Common Sense that are circulating not just throughout the colonies, but throughout the world. It is an enormous number for the time period. All right. Common Sense inspired the colonial population from Massachusetts to Georgia and helped convince British subjects that were even still loyal to the king to embrace the radical notion of independence. All right. John Adams is quoted in saying that without the pen of Paine, the sword of Washington would have been wielded in vain. All right. In other words, if Paine had never published Common Sense, that we would not have been able to turn the tide of the war. So during the spring and summer of 76, some 90 local governments, towns, and colonial legislators issued declarations of independence, and you can bet that they were influenced by Paine. See, he argued for the creation of an American republic, a state without a king, and extolled the blessings of republicanism. Now, when I say republicanism, I do not mean today's Republican Party. Republicanism is a political philosophy that held that elected representatives, not a hereditary monarch, should govern states. All right? A political philosophy. The vision of an American republic put forward by Paine included the idea of popular sovereignty. Shorthand, that is your vote, okay? See, citizens in this republic would determine who would represent them, and they would decide other issues on the basis of majority rule. That is what popular sovereignty is. So, republicanism also served as a social philosophy. It's supposed to be guiding the conduct of patriots. It demanded them stick to a code of virtue, placing public good and community above self-interest. That is true republicanism. So when Paine wrote Common Sense in simple, direct language aimed at ordinary people, this is what made it immensely popular. It makes it incredibly available because people love it. And it helped to convince many to reject the monarchy and the British Empire in favor of independence and a republican form of government. He is what helped influence his words and his ideas of what republicanism actually stood for, are what helped feed the ideas of the Declaration of Independence. And that is the end of this discussion.